Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, and Ida B. Wells Barnett. Her poetry is honest, raw, factual, and healing. This anthology is written to nurture, affirm, and fortify the human soul in challenging times. Please welcome Stella the poet.
Just didn't wanna make a scene. Never wanna see it as a crime. Guess I'm wonderfully.
Thank you. Wow. I'm glad I'm first. Thank you. Grateful to be here. Grateful to be here now. I just want to thank you for that opening, that heart. That was so special. So special. Community Literature Initiative.
Hey!
For real. The first poem I ever did out loud was at the World Stage. And it's the first poem I'm going to read today. And I never heard of community literature, CLI, until I was at the World Stage reading my poem and had people comment on it. And I thought, oh, there's a group here that, love poetry and really want all of us to thrive in it. So Now Can You Hear Me is a poem that I wrote after I crashed a meeting at the International Women's Writers Guild one afternoon. A friend of mine talked to me, I ran into her in the parking lot, and she talked me into going to this creative writing workshop. I'm a journalist by trade, so I keep it that way. But creative writing was something I guess called me out that day. And when I finished the workshop, about 25 women read 3 minutes of their pieces, and it was very clear to me that there was a voice missing. And I came home and I just sort of just regurgitated. So can you hear me now?
All right, come on.
And it ended up being in 2 parts. So, this is part 1. I am so happy you found your voice now. I'm happy it feels so free. I am glad men listen to you now and honor your right to just be. So, Goldilocks, with the tanning oil, Botox lips, fake boobs, and padded hips, please hear me. This allegory is free. After you raided the bear's home, you never took responsibility for your deeds. This is a lesson from the descendants of first generation of humanity. Like the bears, our nature is not unkind, but once again, even in fairy tales, your inhumanity crosses the line. I am the soul of America, you see. I was never a threat to you before, but evolution and revolution created me. There are warrior angels like Maya, Maxine, Marion, to name a few. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, said Fannie Lou. Sojourner Truth stood up in 1851 at a women's right convention and asked, "Ain't I a woman too?" Tarana Burke was the first to hashtag Me Too. Our voices are stronger now. Can you see? There is no women's movement without me. Can you hear me now? The truth doesn't fall far from the tree. The truth may hurt, but listen closely. Our children are not safe at school anymore. But the streets going home were never safe for me. Standing here now, giving voice to once enslaved African queens, sowing seeds of self-love and awareness in this Native American land of the free. Bodies captured, whipped and killed, but never a slave in me. Ancestors trusting code to the North Star, so I could stand here now, voice free. Learning the high ground from First Lady Michelle Obama, Children's Defense for Marion, getting a head start from Auntie Maxine, and rising with Maya's words daily is my reality. Reclaiming my time. When they go low, I go high. I am a phenomenal woman, a beautiful specimen of humanity. Goldilocks, find your lost soul is my plea. Be accountable for your ignorance, your privilege, and your ancestors' deeds. Your character weakens humanity. I suggest you make loving kindness, not upholding an illusion of whiteness, your daily creed. Atonement and reconciliation are necessary. So, Goldilocks, you made the fairy tale a reality. Let's review the bear's grief. The three bears whose home you invaded, bed you lay in, chair you broke, food you ate, are owed more than an apology. But let's start there. Maybe you can use your voice now to say, please forgive me. I was wrong. I was never entitled to hurt your children, terrorize your home, or question the worthiness of you as a human being. Thank you. I'm sorry. If you said those words, we could agree. Can you hear me now? Thank you. So the pandemic was good to me. It was a writer's holiday. It was fabulous. All I could do was, it was like, all you could do was be with you. So I might as well have some words to accompany you. So I did several pandemic poems. In Truth Shots and Ida Brew, see, I don't really promote books because I've never had one, but this is a really wonderful book. It has pictures of my mother, it has pictures of my daddy, it has pictures of Geronimo Pratt, a poem about him, picture of my mother when she was pregnant with me. Her name was Stella, so it's dedicated to my mama.
All right.
So please observe. Not all my tears are sad ones. Trusted friends are humor and wit. Parents homeschooling their teens understand teachers' daily desires to quit. Pandemic 2020 vision. 24-hour a day, daily isolation. Spending more time with self than ever thought. Sobering self-reflections while virus suppression is sought. Daily exercise and patience. In no hurry, there's nowhere to go. Spending more time with self than ever thought. Sobering self-reflections. Staying home, missing hugs. Pandemic 2020 reminds us of what was. Now gun stores with long lines, outbreak of fear on steroids, no traffic and cruising cops, but no shortages in liquor stores and cannabis shops. Learning to trust, loving better, accepting of what is. Panic attacks, self-loving and facing fears. Serenity prayer, learning to surrender. The daily agenda, strengthening the heart. A once-in-a-lifetime blessing, yet a human disaster of unimaginable cost. Human beings pausing, grieving simultaneously, learning life lessons of human values and principles, stillness, recognizing the new joy barometer for the new world order. More of a need to count blessings, keep it lighthearted. Then there's the long store lines. Folks buying enough water and toilet tissue to pee all day, wipe their behinds for 20 years, and still have enough to share with neighbors. Showing people you love, that you care, is the only thing that matters. Pandemic 2020, the art of staying at home, being grateful, acceptance of new norms like isolation. It's social distancing, self-discipline, quarantines, and travel restrictions. It's eye hugs, hand washing, thoughtful touch, and doing your part. It's we're all in this together while standing 6 feet apart. Hoarders beware, shoppers in shock. Minimalists rock, but have nothing in stock. We are listening, Mother Earth, in no rush, learning to stop and learning to hush. The COVID-19 virus is a shout, not a whisper. So, as a person who's written all their life, from a very young age, I've always written my emotions out so they wouldn't stay. In the middle of the pandemic, we had some serious civil rights activist things going on. We had some murders of some people going on. And